time for game night. Getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome inside Golden One Center. It's time for game night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. It's a big Friday night for the Kings, trying to split the home two-game series against the Mavs. Did not go their way on Tuesday night. All sorts of play-in, playoff ramifications tonight as the Kings try to win the season series against the Mavs. A little rainy outside, a little windy. If you're coming on to the Doco for the game tonight, take your time. We've got you covered until 6:30 tonight. Get you ready for Kings Live pregame. 7 o'clock tip. G-Man with the call. High flyer. We've had a couple of days off since Tuesday. Have you been able to put away that bad taste from Tuesday night, or is it still lingering?
No, it's still there. It's still there. Front and foremost. Until we win tonight, it won't leave.
It was tough on Tuesday night, no doubt about it. The Kings got beat and beat soundly, 132-96, a 36-point blowout at the hands of the Mavs, who are a game up now in the Western Conference. They're currently in that sixth spot. That means playoffs, and for the Kings, technically an eighth behind Phoenix. That means play-in. Tonight, that all can be wiped away, though. The Kings get the win tonight. They would have the season series advantage against the Mavs. They would be tied with them. But, of course, they would have all the tiebreakers going in. So, there's no such thing as a must-win game until either you win or your season's over with. But this feels as big as it could get with 10 games left to go.
This is as big as it gets because it puts you where you need to be once again. Scott, through all the ups, all the downs, all the ups this team has had, all the mishaps this team has had, if they win this game tonight, it puts them in a situation to where they're still in control of their own destiny. They really won't have to scoreboard watch. They can take care of what they have to take care of.
Yep, no doubt. As you look at the Western Conference standings, the Kings coming in 42-30. They are a half game behind Phoenix in the win column, same amount of losses. Suns are 43-30. Mavs are 43-29. Pelicans winning last night. They stay in the 5 spot, 105-28. They get a big win in Milwaukee. We'll go over that over the course of the next hour. But for the Kings, what happened on Tuesday night? What happened to the Kings?
You saw a Dallas Maverick team that came out and just shot the ball extremely well. It was funny. I had a chance to talk to Jason Kidd again before the game, and he just admitted, he was like, wow. He said he didn't expect for the game to get out of hand like that. He said, but our guys just straight locked in. He said, HT, whenever our guys are clicking on all cylinders and that ball is falling, he said, we can play with the best of them. He said, but then again, he said, this league, if we're not knocking that shot down, we at 12 o'clock, it's like Cinderella. We turn back into a pumpkin.
Well, the amazing thing was it was a 5-point game at halftime.
Right.
We're down 58-53. That second half, though, went 74-43 in the favor of the Mavs.
He did give me a little insight.
Yeah.
He said, Kyrie Irving is going through the Ramadan thing.
To where he's fasting during the day.
He's fasting, right.
Yeah.
He said, after Kyrie Irving eats, he said, he's a different beast.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's like, okay.
His first half wasn't a lot, went into the locker room at halftime, got some nourishment, came out a different player.
He said, you can definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
He said, he comes out on fire. Yeah. He said, and Luka is cool with that. He said, he said, him and Luka has gotten together and saying, okay, Luka, this is your team. He said, you come out the first half, you do your thing.
Yeah.
You get it going. He said, and then in the second half, I'll do my thing. And him and Luka are in agreement with that. And Luka's like, cool, I like your game. You love my game. Let's make this happen. Jake Kidd say it's been an easy conversion with those two. They haven't really had to deal with no egos, nobody in their committee. Yeah. Their little group saying, this is my squad and I run it. And he said they don't have none of that.
We're going to talk with Chuck Cooperstein. He's the outstanding voice for the Mavs coming up in the program. But as you said, it was a tale of two halves. Luka dominated the first half, and I do mean dominated. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He had a game in the first 24 minutes.
Yes, he did. I mean, and like I said, talking to Jay, he said Luka is that guy. He said, he said, H, we didn't see some of the best in this game has to offer. He said, but offensively, the dude is just straight gifted. He said, now defensively, it's the whole total different bag of rocks. He said, but offensively, he's one of the best he's seen in a long time.
No doubt. And he carved up the Kings. Anytime they sent a double team at him, he just threw it over them and then got the ball moving. It was lights out.
Scott, people really don't appreciate this dude's court vision, how he sees the court and how he can pass the basketball. You just alluded to it. The Kings stunned it, and they trapped Luka. They read it Luka.
Yep.
They double team Luka, but he's so big. And his court vision is so nice to where he makes the right read. And that will kill you also because, when you decide to double team, you're making your defense vulnerable because you have to put two people on one person.
Yeah.
But you're hoping that the guy you're double teaming won't find the open guy. And Luka finds him every time.
Yeah, he was awesome for the Mavs in that first half. Kyrie, as you mentioned, took over, had 18 of his 24 in the second half combined. They were amazing in that game for the Mavs. And then offensively for the Kings, we've seen this before, but the Mavs packed the middle. Sabonis was definitely doubled, at times triple teamed. Wasn't able to have the game he normally does. Wasn't able to pass out. The Kings got bogged down offensively.
And that's going to be a big thing tonight, Scott. I honestly thought that the Kings didn't play at their tempo. They played more so at Dallas tempo. The game before this one, when the Kings won, they were able to get up and down. And it seemed like Luka didn't really like that tempo because he was always playing in midfield. He never had a chance to really rest on one side or rest on the other.
Yeah. And obviously, it's a different Dallas team than when the Kings played them back in Dallas twice earlier in the year. I mean, with the acquisitions of Gafford in Washington, Lively coming on in his rookie year, they're a lot better on the interior than they were.
Yeah, you know what? Gafford brings a whole different dynamic to their ball club. A very live and energetic big that, can really rim run, can score off the pick and roll. And you have two of the best pick and roll guys in the business.
Yeah.
All right. Score off the pick and roll. But then again, be able to defend the rim.
And Domas did get his 55th consecutive double-double, but it was a light night for him. Still 11 points and 11 rebounds on the night for him. Malik Monk continues to be in that Monk funk. His last 3 games, just 21 points combined in those 3 games. Any concern with him?
Well, you know what? I'm expecting Malik Monk to be out of that funk because we're going to need him tonight. I expect the Sacramento Kings going to come out with a very Herculean effort tonight, Scott, because they understand that their backs are against the wall. They need this game.
Yeah, and they've had a couple of days at home now. Of course, the Mavs are well rested as well. They've been in Sacramento for the past 72 hours as well, getting ready for this one. But certainly, it's like last week. The Kings went out on the road. They lost in Washington. It was a bad loss for them, but they rebounded with that win in Orlando. All of a sudden, that 2-1 trip felt pretty good. The Kings win tonight. They split at home against the Mavs. They win the season series. You can kind of overlook Tuesday night.
Yes, that's exactly what they need. They need that. That's why I say, Scott, this game is just bigger than one game to say, okay, we need Dallas. It sets them up for what's to come.
No doubt. We're in the final 10 games of the season here. Every game critical for Sacramento. Now, Mike Brown, his quote from Tuesday night was, you've got to give Dallas credit. They actually played the way we like to play. They just kept the game simple. Anytime we sent a second guy at the ball or anytime they tried to drive the basketball and somebody was open, they made the simple pass, and whoever caught it stepped up to a wide open shot.
There it is right there. Like I said, I think the Kings really need to pick up the pace because once they start going up and down, that opens the floor up a lot more for them.
Yeah, in terms of fast break points, the Kings only had 9 on Tuesday night.
That's not Kings basketball at all. They have to get deflections. They have to get out transition.
Yeah, as for the points in the paint, it wasn't good for Sacramento either. They only had 38 points in the paint. The Mavs had 44.
Yeah, wasn't Kings basketball. So let's hope they can make those adjustments, man, and clear that stuff up and make it a lot easier basketball game.
All right, our look back at the points in the paint brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. And, of course, our look back at the game on Tuesday night brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We'll take the break. When we come back, we're going to go look around the league. We'll get you caught up on all the other games, what's going on. Draymond back in the news again. Kelly Oubre has been fined along with Nick Nurse. We'll get you caught up on all of those things when we come back. We're also going to hear from Chuck Cooperston as we continue to break this one down. He will join us at 6 o'clock tonight. It is game night, coming to you live from the Golden One Center. It's being brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. They'll be in the house tonight rooting on the Kings. More game night next right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
We are down to the final 10 games of the NBA's regular season, each one sharing in its importance, but tonight feels massive as the Kings host the Dallas Mavericks.
One dribble only. Hands it off to Fox. Great pass inside, and a twisting reverse is scored by Davion Mitchell.
Sacramento looks to take the season series and own the tiebreaker against the Mavs. Tip-off tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on for Ram Truck Month, Chad?
Well, we're celebrating with the biggest savings of the year on new 2024 Ram 1500 Laramie Limited. I can barely believe it, but right now you can save up to $16,000 off MSRP on one of America's most loved trucks.
Did you say $16,000 off MSRP?
Yep. And we have California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks with over 500 available. Big savings and big selection. That's what's made us California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
Hey, if you're looking for a truck, Hoblet should be your first and only stop to get the truck you need at the price you want. See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,012 savings on select new 2024 Ram Laramie Limiteds after 1086 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from authorized case dealer and 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible First Responder Association. Sample VIN 203287. See dealer for details.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. You know, those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Welcome back into game night. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer Henry Turner coming to you live inside the Golden One Center as we get you ready for the Kings and the Mavs. Stakes could be a lot higher right now. The Mavs sitting in the 6th spot in the Western Conference playoff picture at 43-29. The Kings 42-31 game back, but in that 8th spot right now, half game behind the Suns. And of course, if you're in the 8th spot, that means you're on the road for a play-in game. You don't want to be in that scenario when the regular season is over with. We'll talk about the game tonight with Chuck Cooperstein coming up in our next segment. But right now, we're going to look at some of the other news going on throughout the league. High flyer, Draymond Green just cannot keep himself out of the news, which is really not unexpected. We know that Draymond really hasn't been able to for most of his career, but this year, again, getting ejected earlier again this week. And the Warriors were able to win that game in Orlando without him, but you could see visibly how upset Steph Curry was. Looked like they made good after the game. Steve Kerr, after the game, coming out and saying it was absolutely on Draymond. Draymond eventually taking responsibility, saying he can't let this happen. But, we've heard that song a time or two before.
Okay, Scooter, I'm not going to bust my arm, pat myself on the back. But I told you, Draymond is Draymond. He's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
He is not going to change. They have dealt with that for as long as they could. This is Draymond's last dance with that basketball team. He will not be a Golden State Warrior next year. I don't even know if Draymond Green is going to be in the league because I honestly think that he's made enough money to where and has done enough in his career to where he's like, if I'm not doing it my way and playing with the Warriors, I'm done.
I'm with you, and I made the prediction earlier this year, too, that I didn't know if Draymond would finish this year. It looks like he will, although it's teetering, and where the Warriors will be when it's all said and done, who knows? Now, we've got to give the Warriors some credit. They got huge back-to-back wins in Florida. They went into Miami, beat the Heat, and they went in Orlando and took care of the Magic.
No, I mean, yeah, they've been able to play decent basketball, but they've been able to win without him, too. Think about that.
Yeah.
They've been able to pull out basketball games without him. So they're definitely going to be reevaluating, do they really want to keep his antics on this basketball team next year? And if you ask me, and if I'm a betting man, which I don't bet, but if I am going to bet, I would bet Draymond Green will not be in a Warrior uniform next year.
Yeah, the thing of it is who's going to take him with that contract.
And that's the thing. Who's going to take him with that contract? And you know what? And I would say this. There would be another team that would take him with that contract because he's a great player. But nobody's going to take the antics. Nobody is going to take on that.
Well, and obviously Steph Curry, still his brother and still trying to get him to stay with the Warriors. They have that long bond, but it's growing old on everybody over the Bay. The Warriors are 38-34 right now. The Rockets win again. They have won their last 10 straight. They won on the road at Oklahoma City in overtime.
Wow.
They are bringing it right now. Jalen Green was incredible in that game at OKC.
You talk about the Houston Rockets, and I'm going to use a pun. They are taking off like a rocket.
Yep.
Those guys are playing great basketball. And, we can't even say that we didn't see this coming. They started out the season on fire, being able to beat a bunch of basketball teams. So for them to have their little, fall back to grace, because all basketball teams do, but then find themselves again and start playing good basketball. Ime, my hat's off to you, bro. You done got a bunch of young players together and sprinkled you in some veterans, but you got those guys playing at a very high level and buying in to what you're selling.
Rockets 37-35 now. They're one game back of the Warriors. They play each other on April 4th.
That's nice.
That is a big game remaining on both teams' schedule. How about the Lakers? They're getting it going right now as well. They've won 5 straight. They're 41-32. They're doing everything they can do to move up the play-in ladder.
Scott, I mean, you really put a damper on my day
I know.
When we have to talk about Golden State getting multiple wins, Lakers getting multiple wins, and both of those teams are looking at us, licking their chops, and we just got drugged by Dallas. couple of days ago.
I know. Of course, the great thing for the Kings and the Lakers, the Kings swept the Lakers this year. They have all the tiebreakers against them, so they're effectively 3 games ahead if you want to look that way. It'd be tough for the Kings to slide further than 8, but there's still a lot of games left.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we got to win some basketball games. That's why we're going to come back to this game here tonight. That's why this game is so critical. This game can set them up for the long haul. These guys better come out, and they better play like it's game 6 in Frisco.
Yep.
They better come out with that type of intensity.
Yep, no doubt about it. Of course, one thing, and we were going to get into it more in our injury report later on, but the big news that was released this afternoon, Woj sent out a Woj bomb, and then it's been confirmed that Kevin Huerter will have surgery to fix the tear in his labrum and his shoulder, and is going to be out most likely for the remainder of the year. Mike Brown in the press conference earlier today said he didn't know exact timelines or what that could mean potentially for the playoffs. But for all said and purposes, Kevin Huerter's season stuff.
And you know what, Scott? I'm going to say this. How do Woj get it before we do? And we're here. How does Woj get it before we get it?
I have a lot of thoughts on that one.
Okay, I'll let that go.
Yeah.
But still, so right now, we know who's going to be on this roster. Like right now, these guys that's playing tonight, y'all better get it together because we're riding out with you guys. The Kings are not going to bring in another player to replace Kevin Huerter. No way, no how.
No.
So they're going to ride out with this roster right here. So fellas, get comfortable, get acclimated. Now you get to get a chance to see, you're going to get more minutes. Guys like Malik Monk is going to get more minutes. Davion Mitchell, more minutes. Keon Ellis, more minutes. You guys get comfortable with one another because we're going to have to ride out with y'all.
Yep. And Keon Ellis will continue to start. And, of course, the Kings in the month of March, they were top 5 in defense going into that game Tuesday night. Obviously, they didn't finish that way after the game on Tuesday.
Man, first of all, you really have to give credit to what Dallas has out there on the floor. Luka Doncic is something special, Scott, on the offensive end. This guy, man, he gets it done. And when that jump shot is falling, he's almost basically unstoppable. The Sacramento Kings tried everything in their possibility to stop this dude. They sent double teams. They stunned it. They did everything that they could to get the ball out of his hands. Either he stepped back, knocked down 3, or he was big enough and savvy enough, and I had to give him credit for this. Yeah. He sees the floor excellent. He sees the floor like a guard, and, I wouldn't expect nothing else playing under Jason Kidd. Whenever we made the double team, whenever we stunned it, he found the open guy every time.
Yeah, that's why Jason Kidd's such the perfect coach for Luka. They have similar games. They really do. Different eras, but the same just incredible Hall of Fame ability.
And like I said, and being able to set others up. He's one of the best in the business. Yes, he can get his offensively, but when you try to stop him, being able to find the right man with the right cut and the right pass, that's what makes him special.
No doubt. Sabonis out there warming up, the lone king at the moment. What do the Kings need to do offensively to prevent the Sabonis getting so tied up in the paint?
Speed it up. I honestly thought, Scott, that the Kings played at a Dallas pace. That's why Dallas was so comfortable. I thought if the Sacramento Kings would really speed something up, get up and down, really push the basketball, that keeps Luka in the mid-range game to where he doesn't get a chance to rest on defense or get a chance to take a break on the offensive end. That makes him be able to, run up and down. I don't think that's his best attribute.
Yep. All right, we're going to take the break. When we come back, Chuck Cooperstein, who is the longtime radio voice for the Mavs, is going to join us. We'll break this one down a little further. The stakes couldn't be much higher tonight as the Kings looking to sweep the season series versus the Mavs and get themselves back in the top 6 picture in the Western Conference. Game night being brought to you by our good friends over at National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. More of Game Night coming your way live from the Golden One Center right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Tuesday, the Kings got worked by the Dallas Mavericks. Tonight, Sacramento looks for some payback.
Pressure against Luke on a double-team blitz. Here's a steal by Fox. A breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand. Kings fans elated. Sacramento on top.
Join us on Sacktown Sports for the Kings and Mavericks in a big-time battle in the Western Conference. Get all the action starting at 7 on Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats! Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, March 30th, World One presents The Jacksons with Sister Sledge. Tickets available now at the Thunder Valley box office, Ticketmaster.com, and WorldOnePresents.com.
At aimyourdigital.com will help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back into game night right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. We're coming to you live from the Golden One Center. We are an hour away from tip-off tonight. Huge game in the Western Conference. Kings and Mavs. Sacramento trying to rebound after getting blown out by 36 on Tuesday night. Joining us now, the outstanding voice on the radio for the Mavs, Chuck Cooperstein. And Chuck, first of all, I've got to ask you, you've had 72 hours here in Sacramento. What does an outsider do to spend a couple of days in our capital city?
Well, first things first, I'm very intimidated sitting in the seat of the G-Man.
It is the revered chair of the G-Man.
I'm very nervous about this. You know what? There was a lot of Frank Fats.
Yes, you can't go wrong if
there was a lot of Frank Fats. I like politics, and I've been to the Capitol before. I took the tour of the Capitol again, just kind of walked around and and then walked into Old Sacramento yesterday.
Yep.
I'd done that before, but I was really, frankly, hoping to go to Lake Tahoe. I've spent a lot of time there during the summer when it's 110 degrees in Dallas and you want something that's really, really nice.
Yep.
There's nothing better. But the snow was forecast, and I can drive in the snow, but I don't think I can drive in that snow.
No, right.
And I don't, no chains on the tires of the rental car. I'm a little concerned about that. So discretion was definitely the better part of valor.
I think you made a very good call. How about for the team itself? Do you know how they spent their time?
I know. Wednesday they went to a bunch of them went to Napa. Not everybody did. Napa. I don't drink wine, so Napa doesn't mean all that much to me. But yesterday was kind of just a regular day for them. I mean, they had a practice here, and just I guess what would be a normal day.
Yeah.
Off day on the road, trying to get ready to play a really important game.
Yeah, such an oddity for an NBA team to spend 3 days in one city. It does feel like the playoffs.
And you know what, Chuck? Somebody told me that it was a Luka Doncic sighting at Golden Corral.
Come on.
Well, I mean, let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
If you're Luka Doncic, you're Steph Curry, you're Michael Jordan, you're whoever. Like, where can you go? Like, where can you go that, like, people wouldn't expect you to go?
Yeah.
I don't think, if indeed that's true, I have not been able to confirm that. I mean, tell you what, I mean, that's a pretty good head fake. I mean, that's a definite fake left, go right, and get yourself to the rim. I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm guilty of Golden Corral every blue moon myself. But I would definitely be in shock if I walked in there and seen Luka Doncic at the ice cream machine.
You and a whole bunch of others, I guess, who might have been there.
Yes, that is funny. All right, Chuck, let's talk hoops. That's why we brought you out here. Tuesday night, your Mavs played as good as it looked like they possibly could. Was that as good a game as you've seen them play all season long?
Yeah, I mean, the only other game I think that was even comparable to that was the first game after the trade. We played a matinee game against Oklahoma City at home and just crushed them. Scored 146, just scored 47 in the first quarter in the first game with those new guys. And they were awesome. They were absolutely awesome in that game. And this was pretty much the same, but I think obviously, the stakes on March 26th are a hell of a lot higher than they are on February the 10th when you play that game, and you're playing it on the road. As opposed to playing at home, you're playing on the second night of a back-to-back. You had to travel. Sacramento stayed here, although the Kings were playing their fifth game in 7 nights. It was awesome. It was awesome to watch them play. And frankly, given how much I talk to Jason Kidd and hear Jason Kidd, what he really wants from his team, to actually see everything he talks about seemingly every day actually play out in front of you. I mean, I don't know if there's such a thing as a perfect game in basketball, like there is in baseball, but if there was such a thing, that just might have been it the other night.
You know what? I want to ask you about this one player because, the last time we played, we didn't get to see this guy, and I think he's a game changer for you guys, but you get to see him on a nightly basis, and I'm talking about Mr. Gafford.
Well, Gafford didn't do much the other night. Now, he got in early foul trouble, and it was Derek Lively's night, really, which was just tremendous to see because when the Kings beat the Mavericks in Dallas in November and in late January, Sabonis pretty much had his own way.
Right.
So he was 18 of 21 at the rim. And Derek looked like a rookie against him. But having said that, I mean, Gafford's been incredible. He has given them. Look, everybody thought he would help them just because he can play pick and roll with Luka.
Right.
He can finish at the rim, and he can block a shot. It's something Derek, I think, is going to be able to do in time, but he doesn't have that 5 years of experience to get the timing right now. But the most important thing, Henry, is the fact that they can play big for 48 minutes, which they could not do before. And the last time they really had a center combination like this, they won a championship, man. It was Tyson Chandler and Brendan Haywood.
Wow.
And they won a championship doing that. And if you look, since Gafford moved into the starting lineup, so that's now 10 games ago, he and Lively have played at least 40 minutes in every game.
Wow.
So, you've got 48 minutes. You got 48 minutes at the position.
Mm-hmm.
They have combined to play at least 40 minutes in every one of those games, and it's huge. It matters so much because as much as everybody talks about playing small in the NBA, size still wins. Like big and good is better than little and good. I'm still convinced of that.
And you can't teach 7 foot.
No, you cannot.
That is true, and that's the trend in the league. You look at what's going on in Denver and with Milwaukee. Houston now is young and athletic and tall, and Minnesota. I mean, that kind of is the new age in the league. The kind of going back to the length and athleticism.
Yeah, from a defensive standpoint, look, your first job. Even though everybody talks about all the 3-point shooting, your first job is to defend the rim.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to defend the rim, and you let everything else fall into place from there. And all credit to Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison for listen, last year. Well, he's been through 3 trade deadlines. 2 years ago, they traded Porzingis and they got Spencer Dinwiddie, and they do not get to the conference finals without Spencer Dinwiddie. He was sensational, but they maxed Spencer Dinwiddie out completely to the point where a year later at the deadline, they could use him in a trade to get Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
And it took Kyrie, Kyrie played really well when he played last year for us, and he and Luka were fine together. It was the rest of the team around them that was just not very good when it counted. But now you have this deal, and all of a sudden you've got the ability to shoot, you've got the ability to guard, and don't forget P.J. Washington. He was phenomenal the other night. That was his best game as a Maverick the other night. I mean, first double as a Maverick, again physical, on the perimeter, just being able to switch onto Sabonis and not be taken advantage of. He's really important to what they do, and they've got a really nice mix. They've got a lot of confidence right now, and it's the right time of the year to have that.
Now, talking about your 1-2 combo with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, you get to see these guys on a nightly basis. And I had a chance to talk to Jay Kidd, and Jay Kidd has been telling me from the beginning that this kid Luka is something different.
It's ridiculous. He is ridiculous. I mean, look, he knows how to rise to the moment. Look, he's been a professional since he was 13 years old, playing over in Europe and playing, for Real Madrid and winning the MVP of the EuroLeague and winning the MVP of Eurobasket and winning a Spanish League championship. The dude knows how to win. And now they just have more really good pieces around him. And you saw the other night, we all knew what the stakes were on Tuesday night. It was that had playoff big game written all over it. The man lives to play in those games. He's not interested in playing Charlotte in January, okay? He's interested in playing in April and May and June when it really matters. And the Mavericks have given him the best opportunity to do that. I mean, that first half, I had the stat the other night. He had 26, 7, and 5 at halftime that game. There have been 13 games in the NBA this year where a player has had 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists and a half. Luka has 8 of them. Nobody else has more than 1.
He gave it to us.
Says it all right there as we're talking to the outstanding voice of the Mavs, Chuck Cooperstein. All right, this game's got playoff feel, obviously, too. If the Kings win tonight, they get the season series against the Mavs. They'll have the tiebreaker, so it's really 2 games for the Kings. If the Mavs can win, they separate by 2 games the other direction. As you guys are looking at it in the Mavs and the whole playoff situation in this crazy Western Conference right now, how are you sizing things up? Well,
I mean, look, the stakes are definitely there. And don't forget, the stakes of a possible 3-way tie.
Yeah.
And the fact that Phoenix and Sacramento are going to play an extra game because of the in-season tournament.
Yep.
So, from the Mavericks standpoint, this really becomes huge because if they win, they'll be no worse than 7th.
Yep.
In any 3-way tiebreaker. And obviously, you take it from there. What happens, with conference record and all that other stuff as we go down the line. But a couple of days ago, I think they were thinking, well, let's just make sure we finish 6th and get out of the play-in.
Yeah.
Well, they're not so far away from 4th.
2 games away from the Clips right
now. I know the Clippers are playing tonight, and New Orleans is playing great. The Mavericks are playing super right now. Sacramento and Phoenix are certainly capable. I mean, we saw what Phoenix did the other night in Denver. They've beaten Denver twice now since the All-Star break in Denver. But they can't beat Washington, right? So,
yep.
I mean, that's true. And obviously that's been the case with your team as well, right? I mean,
Detroit, Washington, Charlotte, Portland.
You and the Nets are the only teams I think in the league this year to lose to those teams, to all 3 of those teams.
Yeah,
I mean
that hurts.
when you're looking at the totality of everything, it really hurts. So, and that's the one thing the Mavericks have been really good at is that they've taken the measure of bad teams. They've killed them. And, we still have a game with Charlotte. We have a game with Atlanta, although Atlanta beat Boston twice last week, and a game with Detroit. So, I mean, the schedule is really favorable for them, but I don't think they can think of, they can't take the big picture. They're definitely very much in the moment right now. I think Jason Kidd's done a really good job of keeping them in that moment and just looking for that consistency that everyone wants, but very few teams are ever able to achieve.
Yeah, no question. Clippers right now, 2 minutes left to go in that game. They lead the Magic in Orlando, but it's 96-95.
So how about Orlando? In the last week, they've had you guys at home, Golden State at home, and the Clippers at home, and they lost 2 of them, and they could lose another one, which again also speaks to the strength of the conference versus the other side, which has pretty much been the case for really the last 25 years. Last year was an exception to it. Really, I mean, it's you're laughing at it. It's very true. It's so funny to me because we know the national networks and whatnot and where they're based and where it seems like their minds are set on. If the game starts at 10 o'clock Eastern time, they're not really interested in staying up till 12:30 to watch and see what happens. But the West is where the action is.
Oh, yeah.
And has been where the action is for a long time. So, with all of this going on, I mean, some of our Eastern friends could help us out a little bit here. That would really be nice.
That would be a lot of fun. Also, the Suns right now trailing at half to the Thunder, 70-59.
Without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, too.
No SGA. Wow.
Wow.
That's
and still
big.
getting it done.
That's big.
That's saying a lot.
But again, that's Phoenix. Great the other night, right? In Denver, fantastic.
Great comeback in that fourth quarter.
Right? They were tremendous, and now they'll go and they'll do this tonight without Shai. And tell you what, Jalen Williams is really good.
He can play.
He's really good.
He can play. Well, I tell you what, you've got 2 guards that can really play too. Chuck, appreciate the time and looking forward to being with you tonight for your broadcast.
I appreciate you having me, and I hope I didn't mess up G-Man's vibe sitting in his
Gary gave approval before he came. I said, we have Chuck on. He says, if Chuck wants to sit in my seat, that is 100% okay with me.
I am so relieved. I can't begin to tell you.
Chuck Cooperstein, thanks for the time. We'll take the break. We'll come back. We'll get you to our injury report for tonight, and we'll wrap things up on game night. Game night being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, one way to give back is to help a kid who is in need of a mentor. That could be you. Lots of kids in our area, they come from single-parent households, could use somebody from outside to help them out. Give Big Brothers, Big Sisters a call. You can do so today. Better yet, you can go online, bbbs-sac.org to learn all about it. And if you do want to call, 916-646-9300. More of Game Night right after this on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. And the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to score big with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We're bringing you the hottest acts and the biggest concerts all season long. First up, on May 10th, it's a night of laughs as Pete Davidson takes the stage at Hard Rock Live. It's comedy gold and a night you won't want to miss. Visit hardrockhotelsacramento.com for tickets. And June 8th, Live Nation brings NF to the Golden One Center as he lights up the stage with his high-energy performance. Visit Live Nation or Ticketmaster.com to score your tickets today. But wait, the fun doesn't stop there. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, featuring legends like Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. It's a concert experience that'll rock your world. And looking ahead to August 22nd, get ready to kick up some dust with Creed Fisher at Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. Keep the adrenaline pumping, Sacramento. Visit SactownSports.com for all the details and ticket information. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate guide to the hottest shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
This year, wouldn't it be great to stop dealing with thin, brittle, shedding hair and instead have the thick, healthy, gorgeous hair you've always wanted? Well, now you can by using Hair Volume from New Nordic. Hair Volume is the all-natural solution trusted by millions of women around the world to say goodbye to thin, brittle, shedding hair. Look for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens and CVS or online at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. Go to NewNordicUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens or CVS.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no. I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that. The Climate 360 smart bed actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in store. And now save $1,000 on our most popular Sleep Number smart bed. And Saturday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Welcome back into Game Nights. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer. Henry Turner. Kings and Mavs. Our thanks to Chuck Uberstein. Great to hear from him. Voice of the Mavs in our last segment, breaking it all down. Game Night being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Let's look at the injury report now. For the Mavs, Luka is still listed as questionable. There's nothing but playing tonight for Luka as he's out there at the free throw line warming up. He was listed as questionable too. I guess he's been dealing with a little bit of an Achilles, but it's not stopping him from playing. High Flyer.
Right. And looking at him right now, he ready to go.
Yeah. Maxi Kleber also listed as questionable. He also played on Tuesday night. Wasn't a major factor, but he should play tonight. Josh Green, the only player of note who was out for the Mavs tonight. As for the Kings, Sasha Vezenkov continues to be out with that ankle.
Wow.
And it's interesting. It's 2 weeks now that we've been led to believe he was coming back sooner than later. But now you feel like the timetable is again indefinite for Sasha.
You know, and here's the problem too, Scott. You know, how do you incorporate a guy like Sasha? He's been out so long, and we are playing in situations to where you don't have a big window for error.
No.
Or to be bringing a guy along or waiting for a guy to get acclimated. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough haul altogether.
It really is. With Herter out for the year now for sure, maybe that gives Sasha a little more of a chance to get into the lineup when he comes back. But to your point, these games are so meaningful. You just can't run him out there to try and get him back in NBA condition.
No, you can't. I mean, because you're going to have to do everything that you can and probably get Trey Lyles back into playing shape.
Yep.
So he's going to have to get some minutes. I think with Kevin Herter being out, I think that just loads up the minutes for Keon and Davion and Malik Monk.
Yep. No, I agree. And the same thing with Trey. He is out. There still is no set date on his return either. So the Kings a little banged up, no question, coming into this one tonight as they take on the Mavs, trying to split this home series. And again, playoff field tonight, 2 days in between games. It feels like game one, game two of a best of seven.
It does. It really does. It has that implication because these games are just as important.
They are indeed. Obviously, the Kings need to make some adjustments. You have really focused in on the pace. Pace was not good enough for them on Tuesday night. Other things you're looking for differently out of the Kings tonight?
You know, being able to run their offense. Pace is going to be number one. And I think being able to attack the rim and spray out is going to be a big part of what the Kings are really going to have to step it up with.
Yeah. Luka having some fun out there. The Mavs, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there putting up some half-court shots. He was a factor on Tuesday night as well. He had 22 points coming off the bench. He hadn't been shooting it well, but certainly played very well against the Kings.
Everybody stepped their game up. Luka came out and he set the tone, Scott. And then the other guys kicked in. P.J. Washington knocked down shots. Like you said, Tim Hardaway Jr. knocked down shots. Some of the bigs were able to get to the rim. He held it down for that first half, and then Kyrie Irving shifted in the first gear in that third quarter, and he was able to, do the exact same thing. That's the luxury that Jason Kidd, the Dallas Mavericks have. You got two guys that really can just put a team on their back and get it done.
Yeah. There's Luka signing autographs, a big contingent of 77 jerseys. And I have to give Luka credit. I was in Milwaukee a year ago, part of a college basketball trip. The Mavs were in there for a couple of games, and Luka spent a good half hour before the game just meeting with fans, signing autographs. He's the face of the league, and he is not in any way unapproachable or willing to do things for the fans, and that's great to see.
Hey, let me tell you, any guy that'll go to Golden Corral and have a meal, what
do you make of that?
He all right with me.
Are you buying that?
No, I bought it. I bought it.
Okay.
Because, Luka's from overseas, man. I mean, he look at him. He doesn't look Hollywood
Not at all.
He looks like a down-to-earth guy, and he's like, hey, it's an all-you-can-eat joint.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. We call him the pudgy one for a reason. I can eat all I want. I'm good. I'm there.
Yeah. We talked about this on Tuesday. Luka in the MVP race. Where's he at right now?
Very high. Just like he was last year. I think Luka in the MVP race is going to be as high as far as Dallas goes. If Dallas can go far in the playoff race, he'll definitely be a high prospect.
Cool. Kyle, couldn't hear you there. All right. He's saying 30 seconds, High Flyer. We got to wrap up quickly here. That's going to do it for game night. Henry, great to work with you. Have a great call tonight with the G-Man.
Gotcha.
G-Man's in his seat. That means it's time to get ready for Kings Live pregame. Thanks for listening to Game Night. Kings and Mavs, huge. Keep it tuned here all evening long. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Jeep celebration event?
Save big on your next off-road adventure when you get $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2023 Jeep Gladiator Sport, Rubicon, and Mojave. You pick.
My wife has one of those Jeep Gladiator trucks, and she loves it.
Everyone I know that has a Gladiator loves them. And we have 16 to choose from. We're here to help you find the vehicle you need at the best possible price. That's why we don't have a bunch of dealer markups, surprise add-ons, or fees. At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings and selection.
This savings can't last long. Don't miss your chance to save big with Hoblet. See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$15,000 in total net savings after national standalone 15% of MSRP factory rebate. Sample VIN 566-279. 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon with $94.94 factory rebates and $55.06 dealer discount. $15,000 total net savings, 5 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234 or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the River Cats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want.